Hello everyone, today I will discuss functions and function notation. Alright, so our objectives for today, we are going to illustrate a function and determine if a given relation is a function. Alright, so here we have let us find y. So let us complete the tables by finding y or finding the range. So given y is x squared minus 2x plus 1. Okay? Let us substitute the values of x here in the variables x. So negative 3. If x is negative 3, let us substitute negative 3 to x. And x squared minus 2x plus 1. So y is equal to square of negative 3, we have positive 9 minus 2 times negative 3, we have negative 6. So, 9 minus negative 6, we have positive 15 plus 1, we have positive 16. Next, if x is negative 2, so substitute square of negative 2, we have positive 4, minus 2 times negative 2, we have negative 4. So, positive 4 minus negative 4, we have positive 8 plus 1, we have positive 9. Next, if x is negative 1, substitute square of negative 1, we have positive 1 minus 2 times negative 1, we have negative 2. So, 1 minus negative 2, we have positive 3 plus 1, we have positive 4. Next, if x is 0, so the square of 0, 0 minus 2 times 0, 0 plus 1, we have 1. Okay, so when x is 0, y is positive 1. When y is positive 1, so the square of positive 1, we have 1 minus 2 times 1, that is 2. So 1 minus 2, we have negative 1 plus 1, we have 0. So when x is 1, y is 0. Next, if x is positive 2, so the square of positive 2, we have 4 minus 2 times 2, that is 4. So 4 minus 4, we have 0 plus 1, so we have 1. So when x is 2, y is positive 1. Next, if x is positive 3, square of 3, 9 minus 2 times 3, that is 6. So 9 minus 6, we have 3 plus 1, we have 4. So when x is positive 3, y is 4. Alright, so the ordered pairs we have, so x negative 3, y positive 16, negative 2, positive 9, negative 1, positive 4, 0, positive 1, positive 1, 0, 2, 1, 3, positive 4. Right, so next we have, so here we have a graph. So the graph or the Cartesian plane contain the point. So starting from the left side, we have to write the ordered pairs illustrated by each graph. Okay, so first, we have negative 5, positive 5. So ito yung sa left side natin, the point here. So x is negative 5, y is positive 5. Next, we have x is negative 4, y is positive 3. And if x is negative 3, y is positive 1. X is negative 2, y is negative 1. Next, x is negative 1, y is negative 3. Next, if x is 0, y is negative 5. So it lies on the y-axis. Next, if x is positive 1, y is negative 3. And if x is positive 2, y is negative 1. If x is positive 3, y is positive 1. X positive 4, y is positive 3. And x positive 5, y is positive 5. Alright, so here we have a mapping diagram. So we have x values or the range. We have negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2. And here on the right side, we have values of y or what we call the range. So we have positive 2, positive 4, and positive 8. Right, so let us identify the relation of the domain to the range. So, negative 3, the arrow from negative 3 points to positive 8, negative 2 to positive 4, negative 1 to positive 2, 0 to positive 2, positive 1 to positive 4, and positive 2 to positive 8. Alright, so let us write ordered pairs. Right, so the relation from the mapping diagram, we have negative 3, positive 8, Then, positive 2, positive 4. Next, we have negative 1, negative 1, positive 2. 0, positive 2, then 1, positive 4. And last ordered pair, we have positive 2, positive 8. Okay, so what is a function? So a function is a relation in which each element of the domain corresponds with exactly one element of the range. So a function, we can call a relation a function pag yung domain only corresponds with one range. So yung pinili ng domain ay isang range only. So hindi pwedeng pumili si domain ng dalawang range. So pag the domain or x values chooses more than one, so it is not a function anymore. Alright, so if the relation is represented as a graph, another way of determining whether the relation is a function or not is by drawing a vertical line on any part of the graph. So if the line intersects a graph in more than one point, then the graph is not the graph of the function. The reason is very simple. If the vertical line intersects the graph at more than one point, then the x-coordinate is repeated. This is called the vertical line test. Okay, so here we have letter A. We have coordinates negative 3, positive 8, 0, positive 2, 0, positive 3, 1, 0, 2, positive 2, 4. Right, so to determine if the given set of ordered pairs is a function or not, focus lang tayo sa domain or sa x value. So pag meron tayong nakitang domain na repeated or more than one, so the ordered pairs or the set of ordered pairs is not a function. So dito we have negative 3, 0, 0, 1, 2. So 0 is repeated. So meron tayong 0, then with range positive 2, 0 with a range of positive 3. So this is not a function because the x-coordinate is repeated. Next, for letter B, so our set of ordered pairs with coordinates negative 5, positive 2, negative 4, positive 2, negative 2, positive 3, positive 1, positive 3, positive 2, positive 6, and positive 3, positive 7. Alright, so tingnan natin yung x-coordinate. So we have negative 5, negative 4, negative 2, 1, 2, and 3. So walang x-coordinate na that is repeated. So this set of ordered pairs is a function. Next, for letter C, so this is a table. So we have the domain or the x values and the range or the y value. So tingnan natin yung domain. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So dito pa lang, a function, this is a function because no x-coordinate is repeated. So walang x values or x-coordinate na nagdoble or being repeated. Alright, so for letter D, domain, we have positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, positive 3, positive 4. And the range 1, 2, 0, negative 1, negative 2. Alright, so dito pa lang, once we observe x values, we have 3 or positive 3 is repeated. Positive 3, yung range ay positive, yung range ay 0. Then, ang isang positive 3, yung range is negative 1. So, this is not a function because the x-coordinate is repeated. So, basta function, observe lang natin or focus lang natin ang ating x values or domain. Tingnan lang natin pag merong dumuble or the value is being repeated in the domain, that is not a function. Alright, next. So, pag meron naman tayong graph, so, para ma-determine natin kung function siya or not, gumamit lang tayo ng vertical line test. Right? So, draw a vertical line test on the graph. So, if the graph meets at only one if the vertical line meets the graph at only one point, that is a function, right? So the graph is a function. Next example. So here, this is the graph. So we have a circle, right? So using the vertical line test, we have to put the vertical line. So as you can see, the vertical line meets the graph at 2 points. So this is not a function. Right, so let us determine whether the relation represented below by the mapping is a function or not. Okay, so mapping diagram we have, so -5, so here the x values is located on the left side and the y values or the range is located on the right side of the mapping diagram. So here we have -5, then chooses +2, -2 chooses +2, another -2 chooses +1/2, then 0 chooses +1/2, 0 chooses -1, and 3 chooses -1, 6 chooses negative. So dito pa lang sa ating domain, tingnan natin yung ating domain, yung -2, dalawa yung pinili niya, +2 at saka 1/2. Si 0 naman, dalawa din na yung pinili niya, +1/2 at saka -1. So, dito pa lang kung tingnan natin, so, this is not a function because the domain -2 chooses 2 ranges, and 0 chooses also 2 ranges. So, by writing or as a set of ordered pairs, we have -5, +2, -2, +2, -2, +1/2, 0, +1/2, 0, -1, +3, -1, +6, -1. So, therefore, since 0 is repeated, the x-coordinate 0 is repeated, x-coordinate -2 is also repeated, the relation is not a function. So, kahit hindi natin sila isinulat as a set of ordered pairs, dito pa lang malalaman na natin na yung relation is not a function because the domain chooses 2 range. So, -2 chooses +2 and +1/2. 0 chooses +1/2 and -1. Okay, so functions are commonly specified by a notation called f of x notation, or in symbols, the f of x notation. So, ito yung symbol ng f of x notation. So, note that f of x does not mean f times x. Rather, means the range of the dependent variable y, whose domain is represented by the independent variable x. So, other letters can be used as well to name a function like g, h, f, and so on. So, the function notation f of x. So, the notation f of x means the value of the function f at a value x, or the value of the function f at a value x. Alright, so, okay, given the function f of x is equal to 3x plus 2, evaluate the following. Okay, so let us evaluate f of 1 or function of 1. Okay, so ibig sabihin, substitute lang natin dito yung +1 sa variable ni x, ating f of x is equal to 3x plus 2. So we have f of x is equal to 3x plus 2. Substitute, given that we are going to evaluate f of 1. So f of 1 is equal to, so yung x dito, replace x by +1. So we have 3 times 1 plus 2. Right, so f of 1 is equal to, so 3 times 1, we have 3 plus 2. So f of 1 is +5. Next, letter B, let us evaluate f of 3. Right, so using the same function, f of x is equal to 3x plus 2, let us replace x by +3. Right, so 3 times 3 plus 2. So f of 3 is equal to, 3 times 3, we have 9 plus 2, so f of 3, that is 11. Next, for letter C, f of negative 4. So, f of x is equal to 3x plus 2. Replace x by negative 4. So, we have f of negative 4 is equal to 3 times negative 4 plus 2. So, f of negative 4 is equal to 3 times negative 4. We have negative 12 plus 2. So, f of negative 4, that is negative 10. Okay, for letter D, we have f of x minus 1. So, using the same function, f of x is equal to 3x plus 2. Evaluate f of x minus 1. Alright, so f of x minus 1 is equal to, replace x by x minus 1. So, we have 3 times x minus 1 plus 2. So, f of x minus 1, that is equal to, so by distributive property, multiply 3 times x, we have 3x. 3 times negative 1, we have negative 3, then plus 2. Alright, so combine like terms. So, constant term yung negative 3 at saka yung positive 2. So, combine like terms. So, f of x minus 1 is equal to 3x. Then, negative 3 plus 2, we have negative 1. Next, for letter E, so let us evaluate f of 1 divided by h plus 1. So, using the same function, f of x is equal to 3x plus 2. So, we have f of 1 divided by h plus 1 is equal to, so 3 times 1 divided by h plus 1 plus 2. Okay, so f of 1 divided by h plus 1 is equal to, so multiply 3 by 1 of 1 divided by h plus 1, so that is 3 times 1, 3 all over h plus 1. So we have 3 divided by h plus 1 plus 2. Okay, so since 3 divided by h plus 1 plus 2, so 2 is a whole number, so yung denominator ng whole number is always 1. So, pag 1, kunin natin yung LCD. So, by applying addition of rational algebraic expressions, so we have LCD is h plus 1 plus h plus 1. Then, multiply the LCD to the left and right side of the expressions. 3 divided by h plus 1 plus 2. So, multiply h plus 1 to the left and to the right side of the expressions. So, h plus 1 times 3 divided by h plus 1, or pwede ding makancel na tong h plus 1 and h plus 1. Kasi pag minultiply natin yung h plus 1 sa 3, so that is 3 times h plus 1 divided by h plus 1. So, yung matitira na lamang ay 3. So, we can cancel this. So, that is 3. Next, sa right side naman, we have 2 times h plus 1. So, plus 2 times h plus 1. So, combine the LCD as 1. We have 3 plus, so 3 plus, so multiply 2 by h plus 1. So, we have 2 times h, that is 2h. And 2 times positive 1, we have positive 2. So, again, copy the LCD h plus 1 and combine like terms. So, in descending order, so we have 2h. Then, 3 plus 2, the constant term, add the constant term, positive 3 plus 2, so we have positive 5. So, therefore, this is now the value of f of 1 divided by h plus 1. So, that is 2h plus 5 divided by h plus